What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a live episode of Spurs in Focus right here on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts. Don't forget about the Substack. Spurs in Focus Substack is completely free. Go sign up right now. Hit subscribe. Be part of the crew. My name is Jeff Garcia, longtime Spurs writer in San Antonio, and I thank you for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. You want to come here every day, every week, every second for the latest and greatest on the San Antonio Spurs. The guy next to me is the producer extraordinaire. Never makes mistakes ever on Spurs in Focus Live. He is Rudy Campos of The Sports Answer. You have a sports question, he is your answer. Follow him on X at The Sports Answer. And wow, we got a packed show today. We're gonna get to it in just a few seconds. We're gonna be asking a big question as the season draws closer. Should Dylan Harper be the team's new sixth man? In other words, scoot over, Keldon. You had your run. Harper should take over the role. Get into the Spurs news. What's the latest with Team France and Wemby? Wemby cards. We're going to talk about that and what one card shop owner in the United States said about certain people trying to get Wemby cards and which ones are the hot ones to get right now. We got to talk to Rudy about that because he knows all about letting go of generational player cards.
Yeah,
so
appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, buddy. And then in our nerd segment, as you can see on your screen right now, we got Optimus Prime at the top. I got Optimus Prime battling Godzilla on my t-shirt. We're going to be doing our salute to Peter Cullen, a voice that was a part of my childhood, a part of Rudy's childhood, and a lot of Gen Xers. We're going to get into our tribute with him and we're going to give you our favorite moment with him voice acting as Prime, either in the movies or the cartoon series. Our best moment. We're going to get to that in just a few minutes. But Rudy, first of all, stay safe. I hear you got a lot of storms coming your way.
Yeah, we've got a lot of storms in my area. Power's been kind of going on and off. So hopefully it stays throughout this whole show that we're doing. But yeah, everybody be safe out there. I think it's about to hit San Antonio too. So
yeah, I live downtown. I just heard a big thunder crack right now. So seriously, you see the theme here, thundercracker, see everything. So we'll hopefully the power will stay on for both of us. If not, we have a plan B, and it involves phones. So we'll see if that works. So cross your fingers. We don't have to go that route. But Rudy, let's dive into it here, buddy. And the season is inching closer and closer. About a month-ish away from the real deal. And as the team looks like this is basically the team, majority of it, they're going to go to war with, there's still that question what to do with Harper. Mm-hmm. Is he going to be part of the starting unit? Is the Spurs going to throw out the three-headed guard monster? Should he start? Should he be maybe the seventh man, eighth man on the bench? There's no doubt about it. He's an impactful player, as we saw last season, especially during the NBA Finals. His star is on the rise. He's the reason why he's the number 2 pick overall, and he's proven it at least in year 1. We'll see how he does in year 2. But really comes the question now, if the Spurs can't figure out where to place him, perhaps the best spot for him is to become the new Spurs sixth man. In other words, scoot over, KJ. You had your time. It's the new guys on the block. He's blossoming. He needs to be the sixth man. KJ, can you sacrifice one more time for this team and move over a seat? Man, Rudy, that's a big question, especially for a guy like Keldon. But with the focus on Harper and his rise, we got the numbers. We got our reason in just a few minutes. What is your overall thought? You think that is the best fit for him?
Actually, right now, yeah. I mean, it is the best fit. And, talk about a team coming off 62 wins with De'Aaron Fox as their starter. I mean, yeah, you can easily say Harper can match the same type of energy De'Aaron Fox brings, and that they can maybe get to 62 wins again with Dylan Harper. But again, why fix something that really wasn't broken? The only time that it became broken was in the NBA Finals when a lot of the players collapsed outside of Dylan Harper. So the regular season was fine. The Spurs were, they were full throttle in the regular season, got to 62 wins. I don't think you should maybe mess with that at all. The only thing you probably are looking at doing is maybe inserting Tobias Harris in the starting 5. So maybe Julian comes off the bench along with Dylan Harper, which I think works for those two guys. Two guys, potentially one of them a former starter for San Antonio, the other one a potential future starter for San Antonio. It's just a role that I think he's going to accept, and that they're going to look at it and say, well, we know you're ready to start now, but what we can do is you still come off the bench, but we're going to give you starter minutes, which is kind of a good thing because now you can probably rest De'Aaron Fox a little bit more coming off of that ankle injury that he had last year. So it's just a role that I think he accepts and he understands. Now, year 3, Dylan Harper, we may be talking, singing a different story if he just completely goes off this year.
And he could. Let's look at some of his numbers from his rookie season. Again, rookie season, all right? In the regular season. Okay, we're not looking at the playoffs, all right? So this is what he did during the regular season. You can see on your screen right now. Off the bench, nearly 12 points per game, 11.8, 3.4 rebounds, plus 4.4 for the Spurs. Just one turnover, practically. Yeah, that's great for an NBA rookie there. 2.2 fast break points. You see it on your screen right there. He shoots the ball well, from the 3 line, 34%. It's not bad. Overall, look what he did. And this is just his rookie season, just in 69 games played. And he did this all in about 23 minutes per game. So you can imagine if he starts getting those starting minutes that you're talking about, that is just going to just make his value as a sixth man, as the best case scenario / role for him next season. Rudy, if they do go with him as the new sixth man, I expect these numbers to just go up tremendously.
Yeah, and seeing 11.8 points per game, it sounds like, man, it's probably not a whole lot, especially for coming off the bench. But if his numbers do go up, it's going to be because he's actually attacking the basket more, and he's probably going to get more minutes. So, looking at it, just a quick breakdown, Jeff, you're talking about. Let's take Con Knipple. He averaged 31.5 minutes a game this year, only averaged 18 points. And I say only because if we compare to Dylan Harper, an additional 9 minutes a game, Dylan Harper's probably around that 15, 16, 17 point per game match. Look at the rookie of the year in Cooper Flagg. He averaged 33.5 minutes a game, 11 more minutes than Dylan Harper, and he averaged 21 points a game. So you can kind of understand where we're going with this is that when he gets a lot more time on the court, his numbers are they're gonna go up. There's no doubt about that. So what I want to see out of all the stats that we're going to be looking at right now, I want to see the minutes per game go up. I want him to hit that 28, 29, 30 minute mark, because then you're going to see his stats completely rise across the board. He might get up to that 17, 18 point per games, that we're talking about with the other rookies. So yeah, I think, what you see right now is it doesn't look great, but the impact that he had in just so little bit of a time, it was enormous for San Antonio and this growth that they're doing.
It is. And again, that's just off the bench as a rookie. Yeah. And you even look at ESPN, they're already doing their early season awards preview, and they have Harper finishing top 2 or top 3 in the sixth man of the year race. So even they see something like, well, maybe he should be the sixth man of the year. I mean, look at those numbers again, just incredible numbers. But I'm going to back this up more, Rudy. I'm going to give you the on-off numbers and prepare for your mouth to drop, because as a rookie, this is what I mean. Even I can't do it. Can't fathom the difference when he's on and off the court for the Spurs. Let's go put it on your screen, everybody. This is via Cleaning the Glass. Look at that. Look at that difference. That's when he's on the court and his difference is a plus 9.2, that ranks in the 90th percentile in the NBA. In the NBA, look at that. Look at the drop off, 9.2 to a 0.5. And look at the expected wins, 62 to just plus 1. What about the points per possession? In the 93rd percentile. That's how much impactful he is on the court. The Spurs average 121.6 points per possession. And the effective field goal percentage shooting as a team goes up to 55.3%. Off the court, you see the staggering difference. Rudy, these numbers just scream he has to be the sixth man next year.
Absolutely. And, the expected win total, it's kind of something that we mentioned at the beginning of the show, how we said, you could plug him into the starting five and they're probably going to still win 62, 63 games, similar to what they did last year with De'Aaron Fox. And I mean, that kind of shows you the impact that Dylan Harper has. And one of our listeners, our loyal listeners, Spurs Fan, made a completely fantastic point. And it's one of the points. Yeah, it's one of the points that, we're going to talk about later, was that coming off the bench, he was electric, but when he started, he kind of came out a little bit laggy. And I think that was a good point by her. The fact that Dylan Harper off the bench was very electrifying. He was the one that kept the Spurs in a lot of these Knicks games in the finals. So I like what she said there, but ultimately, yeah, I mean, the sixth man of the year award, it's almost his to lose right now. I mean, he's going to come off the bench unless De'Aaron Fox gets hurt or he just has a terrible, terrible season. Dylan Harper is going to probably be the number one candidate to be the sixth man of the year. He's going to come off the bench. He's probably going to be the first guy off the bench. But even if he's not, what it's going to be the difference is that 22 minutes a game. He's going to have to
Right.
get up to that 28, 29 minutes. I think Mitch Johnson has enough trust in him to play him those minutes,
Yeah.
which is fantastic because again, now De'Aaron Fox doesn't have to hit,
Yeah.
higher minutes and you can kind of save him more towards
Yeah.
the latter part of the season. So minutes got to go up. And when you see when he plays, they're a very difficult team to beat.
I'm my eyes just popped out when I saw the expected win total with him on the court. That 62. That's how much of an impact he gives the Spurs when he's out there. And my goodness, I mean, just the 90th percentile and the difference right there, 93rd percentile for the Spurs when he's out there in points per possession. Effective field goal percentage, sure, it's not the best, but 69 percentile. That's at least up there in the middle area of the NBA there. But no, I think numbers like this just push to the point that he has to be the sixth man. And there's also things to say just about him, because if that was just his rookie season, seeing your screen right now, imagine his sophomore season. He's only going to get bigger. He's going to get stronger, smarter, more trust from his teammates, more trust from his coaching staff, as you highlighted there. And look, Mitch Johnson was not afraid to go to him. Maybe he should have gone to him a little bit more in the finals, but he proved Mitch Johnson is not Popovich. He ain't going to bury rookies and young guys on the bench because they're rookies or young guys on the bench. He's going to trust them, and he proved it to them. Dare I say, Rudy, that Keldon's going to have to just eat it, huh? He's just going to have to accept it, right?
Yeah, Keldon Johnson. I mean, there's a lot of talk that even he probably didn't deserve Six Man of the Year with Jaime
Mm-hmm.
Jaquez, which I get, but hey, KJ Watt, Six Man of the Year. I'm glad he won it. Well deserved of it too. But yeah, he's just gonna have to understand the fact that, hey, there's a new sheriff in town, basically, and Dylan Harper is that
Yeah,
guy. But again, it doesn't mean that Keldon won't come off the bench first. I fully expect Keldon Johnson to
yeah.
be probably the first guy off the bench, only because of guys like Tobias Harris and Victor Wembanyama. So probably going to get him in for these guys. Are you want to rest Victor as much as possible. Obviously, Tobias Harris being up there in years when it comes to NBA standards. But Dylan Harper, yeah, Keldon's going to have to understand that Dylan is the guy coming off the bench. He's probably going to get, I would say, what do you think? 99% of the eyes are going to be on him
Mm-hmm.
for NBA Six Man of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
They're already talking about it. Vegas is already probably having him as the favorite to win NBA Six Man of the Year. So right now, what I love about it, Jeff, is now you can say, well, we've got a Six Man of the Year in Keldon Johnson, and yet he's not even the best guy coming off the bench, and that's going to be Dylan
Mm-hmm.
Harper. So now you've got two guys that are potentially going to be Six Men of the Year coming off the bench, adding a player like either Julian Champagny or Devin Vassell if he
Mm-hmm.
comes off the bench. That Spurs roster is looking pretty damn good right
Oh,
now,
yeah.
especially with the emergence of Dylan last year. So yeah, I mean that's why a lot of people are picking San Antonio to win the title this year, because we talked about how deep their bench was and their team was last year. This year it's gotten a little bit more crazier. Even though they haven't
Oh,
made a
yeah.
whole bunch of moves on the front court, they
Mm-hmm.
still have a lot of depth on this team.
We didn't talk about his postseason numbers, at least not yet. So I'm going to bring it up now. All right. Again, off the bench for the Spurs in the postseason, he went from about 11-ish points per game to
Yeah.
14.1, 5.6 rebounds in 26 minutes. You can see already the jump there. Just a 4-minute difference gave the Spurs a lot more punch off the bench. This is great. He led all bench players from San Antonio in playoff scoring and looked comfortable in high usage.
Mhm.
He looked very comfortable getting the ball mostly in his hands. So I think absolutely this is his best role right now. And I'm glad we were highlighting that, because right now is going to turn to no, he should be starting in probably year 3 or more. Rudy, let's go ahead and give out our 3 reasons why the Spurs should make him the new sixth man off the bench. And this is compiled by myself and Rudy. Rudy, I'll start it off because you started off this list for us. You feel he's the best spark off the bench.
Yeah, Spurs and said it a little while ago. It's the electricity that he brings off the bench. I mean, you're talking about a kid that came in and legitimately when he played majority of the time, he was the guy. He was the man. He would run the point guard position
Mm-hmm.
to perfection. He attacked the basket. He's not your new breed of NBA player where it's,
Mm-hmm.
25, 30 dribbles and then shoot a jump shot. He attacked the basket. He played very smart. His basketball IQ was actually a lot higher than I gave him credit for coming out of the draft. So just a very smart player, very electric. The guys you can tell that are playing with him on the court love to play with him on the
Mhm.
court. I mean, he makes everybody's life easier. He just makes this team that much better. And it's sad to say that, he's probably not going to start this year, but more than ever, if you can come in off the bench and provide that kind of
Right.
electricity and that kind of spark, you're doing something right. And it's going to make it very tough for a lot of these teams in the league to win against San Antonio.
Yeah, I brought up point number 2 you see on your screen right now, does more than KJ does. I think that's obvious right now.
Mhm.
KJ, I think at this point of his career, Rudy, he is what he is, right? He's
Terrible. He had a terrible playoff, man. Terrible
well,
playoff.
I think that's hurting him big time.
Yeah.
But he look credit to him, at least in the regular season.
Mhm.
His 3-point shot became a little bit more consistent, and he won the Sixth Man of the Year for a reason during the regular season. But I think the playoffs really, really exposed him. Now there is some talk that he might have been injured. That he was in a sling, photograph in a sling this offseason. Maybe that's what it is. But overall, you still cannot ignore he does more Harper than KJ.
Mhm.
He's a lefty. He puts pressure on the rim, not just simply the pressure to the rim that KJ does by just barreling to the rim and trying to get a body on somebody, but he can finish through contact. He can be crafty. He can hit a shot inside that paint. It doesn't have to be at the rim for a layup or a dunk. He plays the pick and roll way better with Wemby than KJ does with Wemby,
Yeah.
and I think his mindset is impact the game in any way you can. And he's proving that in those limited minutes we saw in this rookie season now, likely to see a jump in his sophomore season. I just think Harper has a lot more creativity with the ball. He gives a little bit more flexibility with scoring punch, not just at the rim, but from the mid range, from inside the paint, at the rim as well. And I think he just has a higher upside in that role for now, Rudy. You and I kind of split number 3 there. So you were the first one with acceptance. What did you mean by that?
So, it's when I meant acceptance, it's the fact that, he has to accept the 6 man of the role year, our 6 man role right now, because you've obviously got De'Aaron Fox and Mitch Johnson, as smart of a coach as he is, and then the addition of Billy Donovan and the
Mm-hmm.
coach staff that they currently have. They're not going to look at the board and say, you know what, we need to move Dylan up because we had a bad regular season. No, they're going to say, you know what, we had a great regular season. We were top 2 in the NBA in points. I mean, in team wins at 62. What do we need to change? Obviously, nothing on the
No.
backcourt. It's going to be a Fox and Castle backcourt. So they're not going to rush the fact that because everybody outside of the Frost Bank Center and the Spurs practice facility, they're not going to rush into starting Dylan Harper because fans want Dylan Harper to start.
Yeah.
They're going to take their time. They're going to let him grow a little bit more. Does he have mistakes? Does he make mistakes? Yes, he still has a lot of growing to do. He was a rookie last year and a very impressive rookie season. I mean, how many points did Cooper Flag have in the playoffs? No,
It's
nothing. How
true.
many points did Con Knipple have in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing. So you see the growth already there with Dylan Harper. And I think that's what the Spurs coaching staff is looking at. We don't have to rush Dylan into being a starter right now. He can come off the bench. We have De'Aaron Fox as a more than capable starter. He was able to get us to 62 wins. Let's give year 2 De'Aaron Fox another chance with Wemby here. See how this goes. If they win another 60 plus games, which they're expected to do, there's not much you want to change. Come playoff time, you may start to see a little bit more of Harper if Fox
Mm-hmm.
continues to struggle. Then you may see Dylan in that starting 5, come playoff time. But for right now, regular season, don't fix what's not broken.
Yeah. See your screen right now, number 3, we split it. I took maximize the youth. The Spurs are definitely a youth movement. They are the future. They being Wemby, Castle, and Harper.
Mhm.
We'll see how the new rookies such as Quaintance and Reed factor in, but for now, that seems to be the core right there. So let's maximize that. Let's maximize a potential new big 3 for the Spurs.
Mhm.
So I just want to say maximize his youth right now. I highlighted it earlier in point number 2. He has a lot more upside than KJ
Mhm.
does because KJ is what he is already. That's it. You shouldn't expect that much more leaps and bounds from KJ in his NBA career. You can expect that from Harper. I'll play devil's advocate in a bit, Rudy, why maybe he shouldn't. But for now, I say maximize him while he's still young, while he's still a sponge, while he's willing to accept it. Why now, before maybe contract time, or maybe people start, I hope not, get into his head like, no, you should go elsewhere to get starter minutes. Why not maximize his upside right now? That creativity, do everything you can with him to start a new big three in San Antonio. But overall, it just feels like, and it should be, and all signs are pointing, the stats or reasons, the eye tests say why Harper should be the new six man. Now, Rudy, we got to play devil's advocate, and you might say, okay, well, maybe we shouldn't leave KJ out there as a six man and Harper your seventh man. I think if you're gonna maybe nitpick or just pick on something, is maybe his decision making is still not there yet. Maybe some critical errors can happen at critical times. KJ is a veteran. He'll have a lot more D-ball IQ, NBA IQ than Harper does. So there's a point to maybe not. Maybe this too. It's too much too soon already. He still needs to cook. He's still 19 years old. And even his 20s, is he ready for that role? And do you want to thrust him into that spotlight right now, and put a pressure on him? And he'll probably embrace it, but could it derail him? Could he just hit a stumbling block? Could he put too much pressure on himself as I got to keep this groove going? I'm the guy leading the second unit. There's that. Or the other thing I could think of is maybe he does have a string of games where he's not great coming off that bench as a six man, and he gets yanked and he gets scooted down one slot. How much would that hurt his confidence? What do you think about that? Any reasons why you could think of maybe it's just too much too soon for him right now?
If we're nitpicking on stuff, I would say those are all legitimate concerns. I mean, they all could pose a
Mm-hmm.
a threat to him, maybe decreasing, a little bit, kind of playing down a little bit this year.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, Jeff, it's not even a concern at all. I mean, I don't expect him to fall off a cliff this sophomore
Mm-hmm.
season. I expect him to fully get more minutes, fully score more points, be more acclimated into the offense, probably get his number called a whole lot more
Mm-hmm.
with this Spurs team. So I think the concerns are good. They're legitimate concerns, as mentioned. But I mean, there's nothing that tells anybody he shouldn't A, be a starter eventually, but B, more than ever, shouldn't be that first guy coming off the
Mm-hmm.
bench. And I mean, the other thing to remember is that you brought up maybe he has a little bit of a turnover problem. He was a rookie, and yet he probably didn't turn the ball over as many times as people thought he would. But he plays a very difficult position. Point guard position is the most difficult position in basketball to learn and play, especially at the NBA level. And I mean, he passed. I mean, you got to at least give him an A, A minus at worst for what he did this season. He had more great games than he did bad
He
games.
did.
He
Yep.
had more of an impact in the playoffs, and a lot of veterans did. And you can say, well, Keldon's a veteran. Keldon, is this, but what Keldon brings is kind of, a few dimensions compared to Dylan Harper. Keldon can get down the court and get down lane a lot faster, can get to the basket. He has a very big body, so he can, draw contact. Keldon improved his 3-point shooting. Keldon is the hype man. But again, when you say, okay, what about Dylan? Dylan can get down the court quick. He can get to the basket. He can use his body. He can knock down the three. He can be a hype man. He does everything that Keldon Johnson more at a better rate, and he can do a whole lot more than what Keldon can. So it's not a knock on Keldon at all. I mean,
Mm-mm.
Keldon, we've seen Keldon average 20 points a game early in his career. We've seen him win six man of the year. He accepted the six-man position. He probably wanted to be a starter, but felt that he made more sense coming off the bench. And that is all fine. What you see in Keldon is what you're going to get.
Mhm.
But again, with Dylan Harper, you probably haven't even come close to scratching the surface of his potential. So, yeah, I mean, there's really no negatives and nothing that we could play devil's advocate for other than just throwing out to see what sticks. And right now,
Yeah.
nothing's going to stick on that.
Yeah. I want to shift the attention to KJ real fast. Is like he's in a contract year. As of this show, there's been no announcement that the Spurs have extended him. Now the Spurs can extend him at any point of the season,
Mhm.
anytime. It could be game 81. They can make the announcement. But as of now, he's not re-upped. after this season. He'll probably enter restricted free agency or something like that. But the way Harper is putting pressure on the Spurs to give him more minutes, something's going to have to give. Where those minutes going to come from? Probably going to come from KJ. Probably come from Carter Bryant. Probably for some of the rookies that they just drafted right now. But it just makes me think, Rudy, that, oh, man, it just feels like, man, like all signs are pointing to KJ's time in San Antonio could be coming to an end unless he's willing to take a team-friendly deal and, again, make another sacrifice. I can see him do that. I think he wants to be in San Antonio. He loves San Antonio for what he does off the court, in the community. His ranch is not that far outside of San Antonio.
Yeah.
I can see him do that, but my God, I mean, if he doesn't win a title, the Spurs don't win a title, but for what he's done for this franchise, I think he may have to have his jersey retired in San Antonio if he takes another sacrifice to pave the way for Harper to be the new sixth man.
I mean, he's making $18 million this year.
Yeah.
The question you have to ask yourself is there another team that would pay Keldon 18 plus to go? I mean, you would normally in the past, Jeff, you'd be like, well, I mean, I'm sure Washington would, but I mean, Washington improved in the offseason, so they're not looking to spend a whole lot of money on a player like Keldon Johnson for $18 million a year. Maybe the Hornets could potentially use Keldon Johnson and say, hey, we could give you starter minutes, but again, with Naz Reid, with Brandon Miller there, I don't know if they want to throw that kind of money. So it just depends on what teams are looking for. And could they offer Keldon a similar contract to what he's getting now? Majority of the teams, unless he wants to go to possibly like the Pelicans or a team that's probably not going to go anywhere very fast, I think he does stay in San Antonio. He might take a little bit of a pay cut. You saw Victor take a pay cut this past offseason. So
he did.
I think he kind of set the standard for a lot of these other guys. The only guy I've ever been concerned about was Stephon Castle on the pay cut part, because he's not going to probably make all NBA or get all these awards. So he's going to get just the basic max deal if he qualifies for it. I think, with Keldon possibly taking a pay cut and staying with San Antonio, that'll free up more money for Stephon Castle and then eventually Dylan Harper when he gets his contract coming up. But I think he stays at a team-friendly deal because, again, the NBA right now, it's so crazy how good a lot of teams are. They don't want to spend a whole lot more on a position that they really don't need right now.
Man, I would hate to see that guy seeing your screen out of a Spurs uniform, man. It just wouldn't be right. It would just feel weird. It just, but here's the other thing too. Even if there's no question about this Harper and 6-man row and more minutes for Harper, there's still going to come a point though where the Spurs are going to have to do penny pinching. We're seeing the Thunder already do that right now. I mean, they can go do it. My gut feeling tells me that KJ could be the first victim of that. We got to maintain our financials. Everything's still square financially for the Spurs, and something's got to give, because he's going to want to get paid. KJ would like to get paid. Castle want to get paid. Remember, we haven't even touched Wemby's max deal yet, if he does qualify for that. Then there's Harper. So something's going to have to give, and I fear that it might be KJ. But to sum up, though, it does feel that, and it should be, the best move for the Spurs is to have Harper as the new sixth man. All right, so we gave you our reasons why Dylan should be the new sixth man. Let us know what you think. Let Rudy know on X at the Sports Answer. Let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. When we get back, catch up with some Spurs news. What's Wemby and Team France up to? Cards. Everybody's into cards now, but who else might be into cards? You might be a little surprised to see. And then a tribute to Mr. Peter Cullen. Rest in peace. We're going to give our salute and tip of our cap to him in just a few seconds right here on Spurs in Focus.
This is Optimus Prime. I urge you to subscribe to Spurs in Focus. The fate of the world is at stake.
Just what a brutal day, wasn't it, Rudy? Man,
brutal week, man.
Jeez, what is going on? You had the young lady, I can't pronounce it right, Hayden Pantier.
Yeah.
Then you had
Dolly
Parton. Then you had Tim Curry. And then you had Peter Cullen today. It's like one after another. By the way, the Tim Curry one, you kind of felt that not too much of a surprise because he had been in some poor health right now. But I still feel his role as Darkness / the Devil in Legend is just underrated, man.
That
Holy smokes, did he own that role?
So we can save it for later, but that Tim Curry role as Darkness, the devil in Legend,
Yeah, jeez,
probably good. God, how close to greatest villain
of the '80s. That's right,
of all time
of
too.
all time.
He's got to be top 5.
I mean, people might say like, "Oh, it's probably his portrayal as it Pennywise," but my God, I go back and watch him just become the freaking Darkness / Devil in Legend. You're gonna be like, "Oh God, that's well done."
Perfect.
Come on, like
the
that.
most perfect portrayal
Yeah,
of
of just evil.
David. Yeah, devil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, we are back, everybody, right here on Spurs in Focus, talking all things silver and black. We're gonna nerd it up in just a few minutes, but let's catch you up with some Spurs news and notes. Oh, what we got here? We got a quick note from Spurs Anna. What is she saying?
Says, I'm with you, Jeff. I'll miss that young man. Do you think he'll stay at veteran minimum? Sorry about Keldon.
Oh, Keldon. I think that's probably his best bet.
I don't think he gets veteran minimum. I think he gets more than that.
Yeah.
He'll get more than that.
Exactly.
But not veteran minimum. But he should still stay a Spur.
All right. Well, let's catch you up with some Spurs news and notes. All right. For those of y'all wondering what is going on with Team France and Wemby, well, they got a win. France did beat Slovenia. Now, Slovenia was without Luka Doncic, but nevertheless, they got the 92-67 win, Rudy, versus Slovenia. This is remember, this tournament is basically to qualify for another qualifier, which is the 2027 World Cup qualifiers. But Wemby watch, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 1 for 5 from the 3 line. He loves that 3, Rudy. At this point, he just forget. You ain't gonna stop him. He's just gonna hover over there. And he had 1 block shot, and also an incredible dunk, man. I don't know if you saw it. It was just sick. Now, Team France right now is in first place in Group L in the tournament. They're 6-1, and they'll next face Sweden on August 30th. But I think this Wemby had a better game. He kind of looks subpar in the exhibition games, but definitely rolling at the right time. And I don't know. You think the Spurs might load manage him a little bit to start the season?
Man, that's tough. I'm gonna say no. They can't. They can't afford to. So this NBA season feels a little bit different, and it is. It's different. They can't afford to load management too much because they have to get off to a fast start. I mean, those first 20 games, you, myself, and even Derek Irvin, we had them winning about 17 of those, maybe 16. I had worked 15-5 those first 20 games. So you want them to get off to a fast start. They need to get off to a fast start. I cannot see them load managing him, taking days off or anything early in the season. I think we'll see more of that All-Star break, maybe right around there. Maybe give him a few games off here and there. But no, not to begin the season, especially with the fact that people are talking to him about MVP awards and all this other stuff. I mean, you start load management at the beginning of the season, that's off to a slow start. So no, I don't think they do that at all.
I think they do. I think they kind of not low manage them like, okay, take the next 2 days off. I think it probably won't be hovering near 30-ish minutes, maybe about 20, 25 around there. Also, too,
That kills MVP, man. I mean, we talked about that.
He can ramp it up, though. He can ramp it up. But it's risky. It's risky because then that's around playoff time. You're like, okay, what do we do? But also, too, and I reason why I might side with you where they don't is because we haven't really talked about the elephant in the room. This team is still thin with backup bigs for Wemby.
That's their biggest weakness.
Right now.
People could say, "Oh, they drafted Quaintance, they drafted Terrace Reed." I mean, but these guys are not gonna. Quaintance is gonna play. Terrace Reed is not gonna be coming in and say, "Hey, I'm gonna get 20 minutes a game," or nothing like that. So you're banking on Luke Cornett, who we saw pretty much get exposed in the NBA Finals, and then you're also banking on Tobias Harris to take off some of the load too. So I really feel they need to sign another front court guy somewhere, just in case, man. Like just in case they gotta sign another front court guy.
Yeah, I still think that's their biggest weakness right now is just depth at the backup bigs. Man, and you're putting a lot on Cornette, and we
Yeah.
saw the toll it took on him at the worst possible time in the playoffs/finals. But there you have it. Your Team France update, and I guess the best update, Rudy, is Victor didn't get injured. Yay!
Stop. Don't
Yeah.
jinx anything, man. Please.
All right, let's catch you up some Spurs news and notes. Hey, you ever want to be a Jackal? Yeah, you have a shot now to join the Jackals during NBA/Spurs home games this upcoming season. The Jackals will host auditions on Saturday, September 19th at the Frost. And get this, Rudy, they're going to expand the Jackals to sections 114 and 115. And they're adding 100 new members. So your odds are pretty good. 100 members to join the Jackals next season. The Spurs say they're doing this to give fans, quote, more opportunity to join the Jackals and bring their passion, personality, creativity to Spurs games throughout the season. And the Spurs did kind of hint what you need to do to hopefully secure yourself a spot. Show up in Spurs gear, bring energy, and showcase your Spurs fandom with passion and creativity. So for those of y'all who want to be a Jackal, here's your shot. You want to go to spurs.com/Jackals or text Jackals to 210-444-5940. And remember, everybody, if you get in, you have to pay to be a Jackal. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Rudy,
No.
do you think if you're a Jackal, do you have to pay? I mean, I guess you kind of, because the Spurs are giving up a seat.
Well, you got to buy the season tickets. I mean, that's a gimme right there. You have to be a season ticket holder. It goes back to even college basketball. As much as I hate the Duke Blue Devils, their Cameron Crazies are the best in the business, and those kids, they legitimately have to buy that spot. So I mean, you got to pay for it, and it's cool. The Jackals, they're adding more people and adding more fans, but I witnessed it for one game in person, and I sat right behind them because I was lucky enough to get one of those box seat things or whatever that's literally right behind them, and I I will say I was okay with it, but I wasn't impressed with it. Um, it just it seemed great, the idea,
Mm-hmm.
but it's lacking that college environment, if that makes
Well,
any sense. And it's lacking the soccer environment. If that's the way that they're going for it, it's lacking the soccer environment. Now, we don't need the smoke and everything, but
yeah.
go,
Hey, European throwing fireworks
yeah, well,
everywhere.
that's where I'm going. So,
Yeah.
like, flip it to European basketball, how you see the way their crowds are. Now, take out the smoke and fireworks and all the other stuff, yeah, but that's the rowdy crowd that you want to be a part of as a Jackal, and that's where you're shooting for this group to get to. Now, could year 2 be good? I don't know. I mean, I think this year it's kind of just a wash. It was good. It was a good idea. I think it could be a little bit better. In fact, I know it could be a lot better, but the thing is that they've got to do the chants were okay, but not original, I think.
Yeah.
Come up with something that, is not just going to get the section involved. Come up with something. So that's a very hard thing to do because even in college, Jeff, you have a section of kids. You and I went to Central Catholic. You have section R. You didn't expect the rest of the crowd to get involved. And I think they try to push the entire arena to get involved, and it's not going to happen. I think that's their biggest downfall is that they're trying to push something on people where are just there to enjoy a game sometimes. They're not there to
Yeah.
participate in everything.
I got a kick out of it last season, and again, I'm not throwing shade at the Jackals. I'm actually throwing shade at some media outlets where it felt like they were breaking news at every home game. Like, oh, the Spurs have a new section called the
Yeah.
Jackals. Then
Yeah.
a month later, it's fill in the blank news outlet. Oh, I'm here. Did you know they have a new thing? Then 3 months later, I'm so and so from so and so outlet, and look at that. I mean, I'm okay, yeah, we get it, we understand, But
Felt
interesting
forced.
too. I've talked to people that want to get tickets to Spurs games, and majority of them, not all of them, last season said, Jeff, where do the Jackals sit? Because I don't want to be next to them.
I've heard that. I've heard
I've
that a
heard that.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that. It's like it was forced, is what it was, and it wasn't pretty natural. And that's again, a great idea. We're not crapping on the Jackals
I'm
at
not
all.
disparaging them. I'm
But
just giving you what the
yeah,
fans told me. Yeah.
and it's not even just the fans, it's just normal people that went to the games. And uh you're right, it felt like every media outlet was like, oh hey, they got this and they got this. And then you started to kind of get the feeling that some of the Jackal members were like, well, now I'm getting popular, I'm getting this.
Yeah.
So fame does kill a lot of people, put it that way. And it's just, you got to understand, it's a fan thing, and just keep it a fan thing. Don't, when you become a Jackal, don't expect the entire 18,000 or whatever people in the building to participate with you. You're forcing it down their throat. Nobody likes that. They just want to enjoy the game a lot of times. It's just do your thing, and that's it. You're in that section. Be loud, be rowdy, do your own thing. Forget what everybody else around you's doing. If they want to participate, they can participate. If they don't, so be it. It just felt like a lot of it was forced and try to make everybody jump in on it, and it wasn't a good idea for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's fun. It's different. Well, I guess not totally. I mean, the Clippers, they have their section, right? Don't they have
Yeah,
that
it's like
section?
the wall, I think
The
is what I call
wall,
it,
yeah,
or
it's called the
something.
wall. Uh, but to my knowledge, I haven't seen other NBA teams like really promote like a dedicated section outside the Clippers and the Spurs. See, been to MSG, definitely don't see it there. Been to Brooklyn, their arena, Barclays, and never see it there. Been to Washington games, Boston games, don't see it unless it's going to be a new thing. But you
Yeah.
can tell the Spurs are definitely trying to up the entertainment value. The silver dancers are back, so there's that. The hype squad didn't go because the silver dancers are back. So you get the dancers, you get the hype squad, you get the Jackals times two now because it's now two sections. So there it is. But I think the cost is a grand. Rudy, you think it's worth it? A
Yeah.
grand?
No, I don't
I
think
think
so.
so.
I mean, it's $1,000 to see every home game in San Antonio,
Which I guess is not horrible.
but
Yeah.
if you're into that kind of stuff, then yeah, it's worth it. I mean, I was a part of Section R, and I had, a lot of different things. So
Yeah.
I loved it as a kid. As an adult, I can't do it. So that's just me. I mean, it could be for everybody else. I don't really know. But $1,000, yeah, I'd probably want to go to the game and not have to worry about chanting every 2 seconds and
Yeah.
doing this and that. I kind of want to just enjoy the game.
I'm not going to name names here, but I've talked to certain members and they say it can get exhausting, that it can get very exhausting. And
I
they
believe
have
it.
to use very unique ways to take breaks. So, but overall, I mean, they definitely love it. They're showing up. You see on social media just the excitement from I guess the first generation of Jackals, excited about it. And it's Wemby's creation, so there's that factor in. I thought about this is asking one Jackal, like, hey, how much you pay for the seats? 1,000. Okay. Well, I'll knock off $200 if you wear a Spurs and Focus t-shirt for the entire season. I thought about that.
I mean, you can pretty much do whatever. I don't think they would have any problem with it. That's a good
No,
thing
no,
right there.
no, no. I talked to one of my people that I know, and say like sources say if they would, that the team is fine with it if I were to do
Yeah.
something like that. So
Yeah. I mean, so I forgot what I was gonna say. It's something about the Jackals. And again, it's not crapping on the Jackals, man. It's a good thing they want to do with it. But do you think this lasts very long?
I
I truly think maybe
I think it does.
I think this year and maybe next year, and I don't think it goes beyond that. I
Well,
think the Silver Dancer's coming back. Uh, I think they're bringing. You got to start thinking about the new arena too, man. I mean,
no, I think it's even more so. You want to keep the Jackals around.
I don't know. You see all the hate on social media that they get from other people, other Spurs fans, and other people. You see the war between SAFC and the Jackals.
Yeah,
I
apparently
mean,
those two sides don't like each other very well.
that's what I'm saying. I think it's a great idea, but what it comes ultimately down to is it's a Victor creation, yeah. But when Victor started banging the drum, a la the Sacramento Kings, where they beam the light or
Yeah.
whatever, like the beam or whatever. I think it goes from the Jackals not being involved to Victor banging the drum in the entire arena.
Yeah.
Is it,
The Jackals do it before the game too.
I don't know. I don't.
No, they do.
Yeah, I'm saying I
They
don't.
do. They
Yeah.
bang that victory drum before the game starts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Again, it's I think maybe they're good for another couple of years.
Yeah.
I don't know, because then again, when you go to the new arena, Jeff, it's not going to be $1,000 for a member.
Oh, that's right. They're gonna up that
So how
price
many
big
more
time.
people can afford if it's 2,500?
Luckily, they can go to Rudy Campos for a loan.
Oh God,
Yes.
no, don't come to
No.
me. Don't come to me. Not for a Jackal seat. Don't come to me. I'll give you as much.
What if they wore a Sports Answer T-shirt for
No,
the whole season?
no.
Not even for that, really?
Mm-mm.
I mean,
No.
the cameras are on them almost every national televised game.
No, I still wouldn't do it.
I'm still thinking about. I know a few of the Jackals,
Yeah.
and they're very nice. The few that I know, very very nice. They always when they see me at the games. They come up to me, talk with me, very
Yeah.
respectful, very talkative with me. So I got nothing but love for the Jackals. But as far as me joining, no, I don't think I ever would. No, I don't. Is that not because I don't want to? Just I don't think my I may look very young, people, but I'm actually old. So I don't think I can stand the entire game. I have to be like, okay, I'm sitting this quarter out, everybody. I'm going to tap out. I get too tired.
They should
But
come to me. I've been around a lot of college environments, college games, and they should have me give me so they should come to me with some advice, man. I could give them some pretty good
okay,
advice.
what would you tell them to do to spice it up, to maybe push it over the hump?
So this is the way I look at it. And again, I mentioned the Cameron crazies. Um, when they're doing their free throws, you see them doing their hands like that and
Mhm.
just making a noise. That's pretty cool. When I used to live in Ohio, I went to a lot of Xavier Musketeer games. That student section was always on point.
Mhm.
That student section was amazing. When the introductions were being done, they would turn their back to the opposing team every time, hey, so and so, at guard 6'7", they would be all in sync. Who cares? Out loud. They would be reading the newspaper. So when they're
Mhm.
done and they would announce the Xavier team, it was ripped up. They had it ripped up already, and then they
Yeah.
would toss it in the air. I mean, the environment was a good college environment, and I sat right next to them, and I never once ever was like, this is not cool at all. I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. But there's certain things you want to do in certain areas, and I just don't think it was in sync this year.
Yeah.
It was like they did the exact same thing the entire year. And it was fun at first, and then it started coming, downhill, downhill, downhill until it was just kind of a, wash, rinse, repeat type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there you have it. If you want to join the Jackals, you see the information. I kept that on there for the entire mini segment here. So cannot say we didn't put it out there for you. But no, again, I'm not disparaging the Jackals. I think they're fun. I like I never love the attention they brought to the Spurs as far as
Spurs
the national
in.
game. Yeah, or should say,
Perfect. That's exactly what I said. Some of the chants every game probably irked people, and it was cringe to the room. So yeah, it's the same chants, and that's what I was saying. That's why it started off good, and then it just went downhill because it's the same
yeah.
stuff over and over again.
But look, if you're a diehard Spurs fan, I highly recommend this for y'all. Go sign up right now. Again, I'm leaving it on the screen, left it on for this entire segment while Rudy and I spoke. You see it on your screen. Again, text Jackals to 210-444-5940. Jump on, audition, heads up. You do have to pay for it. But yeah, good luck to you if you do sign up. Talk about something that Mr. Campos knows a lot about, and that is trading cards.
Oh God, thanks.
Not the card experience. We're not going to open up that old wound right now. But Wemby cards. So if y'all go to Spurs and Focus Substack right now, you'll see an article I put out there uh, about a card shop owner in Kansas who spoke with a card outlet. I'm gonna get that outlet for you guys in just 2 seconds here. He spoke with, there we go, Sports Collectors Digest about cards, basketball cards, in particular Jordan cards, Kobe Bryant cards, but he also spoke about Wemby cards, and he called it the Wembayama factor and how he dominates the court is drawing collectors to Wemby cards. Wait, I'm sorry. It was a card shop owner in Kentucky. Excuse me, in Kentucky.
Mhm.
All right. So his name is Jimmy Mahan. Get this. He attributes, according to the article, that Wemby is a 7'5" crossover, top of the key, pull up, 3-pointer guy, block everything, dunk everything. Quote, to me, that is a huge part of this, the card part of it, where you see grades like really great MVP like Shea or MVP like a younger player, but you don't see a 7-foot guy do this. Steph Curry pull up from 35 feet and hit a consistent amount of threes. That drives a huge amount of people to the product. All right. So he even went on to say that NBA general managers have contacted the card shop in Kentucky that he owns because they want to acquire Wemby cards. And he made it very clear they're not part of the Spurs organization. He says, quote, for an NBA GM to text me and say, give me an older card like a generational talent of Jordan and a newer card of Wemby. And I can tell you, he's not associated with the Bulls or the Spurs. So there you have it. The Wemby impact on the trading card industry is a big one, where NBA GMs, according to this article and this shop owner in Kentucky, says they want it. Rudy, my big question to you is, that's great and all. We're seeing card breaks and record set amounts for Wemby cards. I think I have one here. There was a Wemby Superfractor autograph basketball for the 2025 Topps Chrome set sold for $488,000 at Golden, breaking the previous record of $23,000 in April 2021. Rudy, do you think this is a bubble that's going to pop down the road, or just that Wemby, as long as he's playing at the end of his career, he's going to be a hot card to own?
He's going to be a hot card to own. I don't think the bubble will ever pop, but it'll cool down. It'll cool off significantly. I mean, you see it all the time. Players get, on a roll and they're called generational and this and that. So everybody wants their card. Everybody tries to get their card. And then all of a sudden they kind of just start to level out. I mean, you potentially see obviously the one-of-one refractors and autograph stuff, those cards are probably going to fetch maybe $1 million, at times. So right now, while the iron is hot, you strike and you get what you can, but you also have to understand that no matter what, eventually there's a chance that those cards could come down. We've seen tons of times where, people are spending $40,000-$50,000 on a card, and then come to find out a few years later, you can barely sell it for 10,000-20,000. So you lost a whole lot of money in that. It's almost like the stock market. You sell while it's hot, and you buy low, sell high is what it is. Buy low, sell high. So for example, I got a Wemby rookie card graded at a 10, and it's a rookie.
Ooh, nice.
It's a blue. I don't even have it with me right now. I think I paid $25 or $30 for it at the time. So it's about $180-$200 card now. So I mean, the return is great on it, but do I expect it to ever be, $1,000? Probably not. I mean, it's never going to get that high. It's going to take some MVPs. It's going to take some championships in order for these cards to, break through the next tier, I guess, on where it's going to be worth. But right now, they're going to stay hot. They're going to go for big money. The ones that are going to go for big money are the ones that are the rarest. So, I don't know, man. It's really tough to determine if the bubble will burst. I think we got a comment. Someone said the cards are always hot. They never used to be until COVID. When COVID hit, that's when everything, even comics, collectibles, everything went through the roof. So, could we potentially see the bubble burst? It's very likely you could, man. I mean, it's very likely you could, but not anytime soon.
Yeah. And for those who are wondering, like, okay, fine, let me get into the hobby. I'm gonna start with Wemby cards. The shop owner out of Kentucky did actually recommend where to start or which cards to look for. And I'm gonna see if you agree with this. He says, quote, Wemby cards are hot across the board, but his 2023 Topps Mercury card license have been flipping crazy numbers. He blah blah blah. He goes, the Wemby's 2023 Topps Mercury Wingspan Autograph Superfractor is one to get. So it seems to me that this Topps Mercury ones are the ones to get for Wemby. Were those the ones like they were like in a sealed black box with like 3 dots or bubbles on them, something like that? You
I'm
remember
not gonna
those?
pretend yeah, I know which one you're
Yeah.
talking about. I'm not gonna pretend I know. Let me look it up real quick while I'm talking to you about it. But the tops, so tops are big right now
Mhm,
because they finally got the license for
mhm,
NBA product where Panini had the license for NBA products. So yeah, it is the black box is what it looks
yeah.
like. Well, maybe it is. Yeah, it is a black box. What it looks like.
Mhm.
But yeah, right now Topps got the license back, so you're gonna be able to only get Topps NBA license official products. So yeah, these cards are gonna go for a lot of money, and the Mercury one, like they're saying, is probably the best one out there. I'm assuming it is. So I mean, to me, it's any gold refractor that I would love to see. Hate to say that because I did have a gold refractor at one time, but we're not going to get into that anymore. That you already bring it up.
Old
Um,
wounds,
yeah.
memories.
So,
Yeah.
and then the other point I was going to make, I brought it up. Joey Reyna brought it up, and yeah, Wemby only signs with
Yeah,
Tops.
he
So
does. Yeah.
that's the thing right there is that
Well, you see it in your
we got
screen
to
right
buy
now. That's a
Tops.
Topps Chrome card that he signed right there.
Yeah,
So
you only can get his autograph in the top stuff right now. So, um, yeah, I mean, Mercury's a great thing, man. It's a
those
great
are like
product.
super expensive, aren't they? Just to get a box.
I think I don't know if that's the one, but I saw a guy open up a basketball product, and it was like $700 a box, and it was one autograph in two packs, and the packs were
Yeah.
like kind of hit or miss. So,
Hmm.
Jeff, when I got really big back into collecting, I mean, I was buying, you know, Patrick Mahomes rookie cards, and those
Hmm.
boxes of prisms were, I think I paid $160 a box for
Hmm.
an entire box. Now those same boxes are going for what, 4 grand, 3 grand. I mean,
Golly.
I wish I could go back in time, buy every box that I did back then and just hold it because I would have made tons of money
Oh
and
yeah, you would have.
all that stuff. So yeah, it's a bubble that you never know. So it's right. It's a bubble you know is gonna burst. You just don't
Yeah.
know when. It's
So
gonna
I'm
it's
reading
gonna go.
Spurs ends comment. Yeah, no, chewing gum doesn't come with it anymore.
No, sadly, no, they
I
don't.
remember they used to be like ready for like frozen over, like they were just like brittle, like you would just snap them in half. They weren't
Yeah.
flexible.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Chewing gum,
remember
too
those.
funny. Yeah. No, it's just so interesting how much this card hobby has taken off. I mean, you got Dylan Harper in a few weeks, and he's gonna be visiting Boomtown Collectibles,
Yeah.
doing an autograph session there, card collectors. Uh, I mean, geez, it's just incredible. I don't own any Wemby cards. I don't. I feel like I should, but I don't, and I'm afraid
You
to go
can
down that road
you
when I get
can
a
get a
collectible.
couple you can get a couple at a decent price. I mean, if you go to a card show, you can get a couple at a decent price. But you can really truly get one, I think, and you can call me a liar on this because I don't really check too much, but I think you can get a rookie card around $40, thirty
Really?
bucks. Yeah,
Okay.
and it's
Okay.
not like the major ones, but
Yeah.
you can get a pretty decent one for like $30, $20. I mean, that's not a
W-
bad deal at all.
like how much would you go? Like if you're at auction right now, like what would be your threshold for paying for a Wemby card? Like how
Depending
much
on
would
what
you?
it is, depending on
Okay.
what it is. If it's a base, like if it's, say it's no auto, not numbered, but it's not a base, it's kind of a color scheme type thing. I could pay upwards of maybe $200, $300 for it, depending on which one it is. That's what my threshold be. Autograph wise, if it's a rookie card, autograph wise, rookie autograph, I'm probably just shy of 5 digits, maybe in some
Wow.
instances, depending on which card it is. That's the thing.
How quick does your wife ask you sit down and start the interrogation about how much you spent?
Um,
Immediately.
if I was ever to buy a 5 digit card and she has no doubt and like she has no known about it, I would buy the card there. I'd probably be served with divorce papers the next day. So yeah, I know not to do that.
Well, what if you save your money? Like you put aside your own money in a little, like a little shoebox. Just okay, that's it.
Um,
Is that kind of a loophole you can get out of?
no,
No, all right.
I'm still probably divorcing me the next day, probably.
Oh my goodness! All right, let's continue our chat here because the storms are getting worse. I hear, Rudy. Is
Yeah.
that true?
Yeah, it's my lights are kind of going on and off, and I at least want to get through the show before we have to like lose power.
All right, all right. Well, there you have it. Some quick Spurs news and notes. But now comes time to just pay some respects to my childhood voice acting hero, Rudy's childhood voice acting hero, Mr. Peter Cullen, has passed away. Alrighty, y'all probably heard the news. If you're watching on YouTube, you see little Optimus Prime hovering above me right now. The voice actor for Peter Cullen has passed away, sadly, at I believe 85. I think he was 85 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He was a voice of Optimus Prime. Many other voices. He was Eeyore in Winnie Pooh series. He voiced GoBots. Yeah, he was a GoBot as well as a Transformer. Everybody. He also played a huge role in Invincible as one of the Voltrumites. I guess he left the order because he didn't agree with it.
Thaddeus. You played Thaddeus.
Thaddeus, thank you. And countless
Titus.
Countless other voices. Again, he passed away unfortunately, and just was shocking. I was just like, what? This can't be happening. This, your screen there. But of course, he's known for the legendary role of Optimus Prime. Did you know, Rudy? I'm pretty sure you didn't know, but for those who don't know, he based the voice off of John Wayne.
Yeah.
John Wayne was the inspiration, or at least the delivery, the tone. The character was actually inspired by his brother, who was a military vet.
Yeah.
But the John Wayne approach is what he took. Again, voiced Optimus Prime for decades until today, where he finally passed away. Sad moment. It really felt like we're reliving the 86 movie death scene all over again, but this time for real.
Yeah, 86, man. That was that death scene scarred me. So there's two deaths that scarred me as a kid for life. One of them being Optimus Prime dying in the 86 movie transfer movie, which is getting re-released if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's getting re-released, yeah.
So now it's
soon, like in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, now's the perfect time to go watch it in theater. And then Never Ending Story, when Artax died, he drowned basically with Atreyu. So those two were, but Optimus Prime's, death as a kid, growing up, I mean, you saw it on Saturday morning cartoons and Transformers was everything. And then to go to the theater and see him die on the big screen was like, this is the time where as an adult, you're like, well, Peter Cullen will never die. Frank Welker will never die. People you think are growing up, they're going to live forever. Why? Because they voice everybody.
It's Optimus Prime,
Yeah, I mean, they gotta live forever, but they really don't, man. People die all the time, and it's like, did this hurt? And
this one hurt. Yeah.
On a note, what Peter Cullen did is exactly the reason why I do shows for podcasts, because
interesting.
I've met Peter Cullen. This is years ago, and they had one of the very first Comic-Con I went to was over on Marbach, and it's that event center that they used to have over there. I think it's still there by Marbach. They had a Comic-Con there, and Peter Cullen was one of the guests there, and he had a question and answer. He had a Q&A there, and I mean, this was a Comic-Con, like they just had chairs set up. It was in the middle of the whole thing, so I remember sitting there and I asked him a question, and I said, hey, Mr. Cullen, what legacy would you like to leave behind? I mean, and he said, doing the voices is what I'm known for. He says, but what it also ultimately does is gives me the opportunity to never let my family remember my voice, like to never forget my voice. And that's something that with podcasting I do. I do it not because, I'm gonna be honest, not because I love it, not because I'm a huge sports fan or whatever, and I love talking sports. The biggest reason why I do it is because when I died and I'm gone, my family, my daughter can just click on a podcast and say, you know what? That's my dad. That's his voice. That's how he sounded. Because I go back, I can't even remember my dad's voice, and he's been gone for 8 years already. So that's the reason why I do it. Same the reason why, Mr. Cullen did it as well. One of the reasons he gave was that his voice can kind of just live on for people to remember.
Yeah. Definitely the Mount Rushmore of voice actors. He was on my bucket list to talk with at cons in San Antonio. Like he never came since I've been hosting several cons to any of them. It's unfortunate, but I always was, every time I would get my assignments, I says, Peter Cullen, and nothing. But yeah, it was a very sad day for me as well because again, he started his career when Rudy and I and all Gen Xers and 80s babies were babies. We were preteens, teens
Yeah.
already. And he got his start there. And it's funny because when he auditioned for it, according to him, he said all he knew he was gonna be voicing a truck. That's all he's a truck. And even you go on YouTube and see some of his old chats with fans at cons. And when he read that he was going to die in the movie, he wanted to flash forward. He forwarded the script to see, oh, maybe I get revived at the end of the movie. And he says, no, I'm dead. He's like, I'm dead. Now it's a joke now. Now Prime dies like in every freaking movie, TV series, cartoon. He dies. He's like expected now.
Yeah.
But again, a great voice actor. Taught us right from wrong through his voice acting, and even to the very end, you see his speeches and talks to fans, how grateful he was to be a part of their lives, a part of Rudy's life and everyone else's life. Rudy, I know you got to go soon because your lights are flickering, but
Yeah.
Peter Cullen's voice in any media property. So do the OG cartoon series, the Bayverse, video games, the recent cartoons that have come out, not the Hemsworth Transformers 1 or all the other properties that were Cullen didn't voice. But what was your favorite voice acting moment Cullen as Prime?
Good God. I mean, like you said, I don't want to mention the obvious one, with Optimus Prime. That's going to be number one on everybody's list. I'll give you a couple. The voice of Predator. I mean, he did the voice of Predator, the sound effect, I guess is what it is.
No, I'm talking about like him playing Prime.
If I had to pick
what are your favorite, most memorable moments where he played
Prime? I thought you meant iconic.
No, we just can't use Transformers 1 because that was Hemsworth.
Yeah.
But I was giving examples where he did, like in the movies and the OG cartoon, and then a few cartoons, and of course the video games. He did the video games as well.
One that I remember, I used to have it on VHS. I watched it like every morning. I had a bunch of the Transformers cartoons. The episode where you first meet the Dinobots, I remember him voicing a lot in that one. Kind of seemed it's funny because you got the first time to see Optimus Prime being really annoyed because the Dinobots were kind of dumb and they didn't know what they were doing.
They were dumb.
But I think you go to Transformers the movie, and obviously when he first fights Megatron, the first time you ever hear "one shall stand, one shall fall,"
that's perfect.
that is probably the best one. The right before he dies talking to Rodimus, and then you don't like the scene, and I know you don't, I think you've told me before, but the best scene for me is because of Peter Cullen when Rodimus gets the Matrix and becomes Rodimus Prime, basically how Rod becomes Rodimus Prime, and you hear Peter's voice in the background that says "Arise, Rodimus Prime." That scene is number one for me. It'll always be number one for me. I have a portrait, a custom drawing of Rodimus Prime holding the Matrix, and I had it because of that scene. I had it made because of that scene. So that is the best scene of all time. It's maybe 3 seconds long, but just hearing Peter Cullen's voice, "Arise, Rodimus Prime," knowing he already had died as Optimus Prime in the movie. There's no other scene besides that one.
Yeah. And I was, give me wrong, what he did in the 86 movie was great, but I was trying to be different, unique. And I said, okay, well, in the other times where he voiced it, for me, one of my favorite moments where he brought to life Prime was on the theater in the movies. And it was the forest battle where I think he's getting his butt whipped. And then I think his Megatron punches him. He goes flying. And he spits out like pieces of metal. And then he gets up, he goes like, I'll take you all on. And then he just goes to town, just with that one line. He goes, I'll take you all on. Just sent shivers down my spine. Of course, too, in the last night where he's riding Grimlock and he goes, do you know who I am? I thought that was just like, whoa, it's Prime.
Yeah.
But no. Again, those are some of my favorites with Cullen voicing Optimus Prime. He did the voice for Prime in a kind of a recent cartoon series,
Mm-hmm.
and he was shocking. He was gonna die again, and as he's going into, I think he was going to Unicron. He was
Mhm.
floating in with the Matrix, and all the Autobots are watching him. Wheeljack, Bumblebee, Hound, everybody's watching him, and he's gonna die. And he tells everybody, "Don't." This is what got me shivers too. He goes, "Don't think about me. Don't worry about me. Don't grieve for me." He goes, "Think of this as just another transformation," and then he dies. I thought, like,
Yeah.
whoa, that was pretty cool. But yeah, rest in peace, Peter Cullen, a large part of my childhood and adulthood, as well as for Mr. Rudy Campos. All right, there's your quick nerd segment. But hey, we need to hear from you. What do you think about Harper as the new sixth man? Should the Spurs just do it? Scoot aside, KJ. You had your time. Let Harper shine, or maybe no, KJ. That's still your role, and Harper, you still got to earn your stripes. And what do you think about some of those Spurs news, Wemby, Team France, card collecting? I know y'all of you love cards. Let us know what you think. Rudy on X at the Sports Answer. Speaking of Sports Answer, what's cooking?
Yeah, man. So tomorrow we are going to release another episode of the Sports Answer. It's not. It's going to say it's live, but it's not live technically. We
Okay.
pre-recorded it. It's going to be myself and Coach Gio's back with us. It's your full NFL preview. So we break down every division, give you our division winners, give you some insight on players and fantasy football players for those of you that are playing fantasy football. Plus, we make our Super Bowl prediction picks, and then next week, the guru himself, Coach Gio, is going to be back. We're going to get into college football talk. So. Yeah, we got a lot going on over at the Sports Answer. And again, you'll see a live edition of the show tomorrow by going to Answer Now TV and hitting that subscribe button.
Yeah, there you go. Make sure to follow Rudy on X at the Sports Answer. If you're all wondering why we didn't have a comment segment today, well, because Rudy was handling it throughout the entire show.
Yeah.
He pretty much just putting him out there. But we got this one real quick from Spurs, and I'm going to walk around speaking in O Prime voice tonight. Do it, Spurs, and do it. We definitely would appreciate it here at Spurs in Focus, because we all know that I'm a big nerd. Here it is. There, we got Joey Reyna saying, "All right, peace out." I
Yeah.
don't get this one. I live next to a mission. Hear all that stuff and see. I don't understand that. Maybe it means the storms?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. All right. Well, there you have it. Thanks for all the comments, though.
Mhm.
Again, Rudy took care of that the entire show, so we got to them. We will be back on a Monday with a brand new episode of Spurs in Focus. Still the off season, so we'll get you through it. Make sure to follow me on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone, and subscribe to Spurs in Focus on YouTube, YouTube Music, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Pocket Cast. The Substack is free. Spurs in Focus Substack. Google that. Sign up right now. Hit subscribe. You're in. Just like that. So for Mr. Rudy Campos, I am Jeff Garcia, and now you're in focus with Spurs in Focus.